Hello and welcome to this episode of Dive Bar Diva. I am your host, the Dive Bar Diva, and I am coming to you now from this big city storefront shop located right here in the heart of downtown Bismarck, Rhythm Records. As this is not a bar, I will be enjoying an all-ages berry lemonade soda made by Jones today. This quaint and charming establishment boasts the obvious new and used vinyl, along with accompanying accessories and alternative refreshments. But what made me fall in love with this place is the incognito and underground live art scene represented in the visual and performance media. We're going to dive into the deep end of this hipster pool by the end of the episode. But first, let's pay a visit to Robbie, the owner of Rhythm Records, and get his insights into his booming vintage business. Hello again. We are here now with Robbie, the owner of Rhythm Records. Robbie, thank you so much for having me. How are you on this balmy day in Bismarck?
Sweaty and hot.
Everybody's dying around here. You can't see the crew, but they're going crazy. Robbie, where are you from?
I'm born and raised in Bismarck.
And what did you do before you opened this shop?
I went to school to be a park ranger, and I did that for a short amount of time.
At what park?
Lake Metagoshi.
How very cool is that? Did you wrestle bears?
No.
Did you see any bears?
Nope.
Oh. So that was why you didn't want to be a park ranger?
Trapped a few skunks.
All right, excellent. I hope far away from you. Controlled.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you were a park ranger at Metagoshi.
Yeah.
And then you opened Rhythm Records.
Yeah, I did. I worked over at a financial firm for a while too.
Okay. And what made you decide to do this?
I don't know. Ambition? I don't know. I always wanted to do it. But
very high fidelity. You made a list and it was
I don't know.
Not a
I've always collected records and I always thought it'd be really cool to do it. And we ended up, I was looking for a spot to do a record store in, and we ended up buying this building, so it just kind of fell into place.
That's fabulous. And how long has it been open?
1 year and 2 days.
1 year and 2 days. Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that we were so close. What kinds of things do you offer for the public, and what special services and events might we not be aware of?
Well, we do open mic every Thursday from 7 to 11. We try to do a show in here every other Friday, but you know, sometimes we have like 4 Fridays in a row, and sometimes it goes a month. And you can watch our Facebook page for shows. Other than that, we buy and sell vinyl for the most part. We sell CDs. We carry all the smaller label stuff that you can't get at Best Buy and Target. We try not to double up with those guys.
How do you choose your stock? Do you have a lot of new stuff, or do you mostly used? What is your primary?
For vinyl, we split it between smaller label new stuff and reissues, and then of course all the used stuff is hard to control. And then CDs is all primarily smaller label and popular reissues.
In addition to music, what other kinds of things do you buy and sell?
We do turntables, we do amplifiers for systems, speakers. We repair all that stuff for people. We sell coffee. We've got cold drinks for days like today.
Excellent. Yes, I'm enjoying the berry lemonade sugar soda that is keeping me hydrated. So you also have a lot of original art. You host original music. How do people get involved in that? How does their art get to be on the wall? How does their merchandise get to be in the case?
Just come in and talk to us. Usually, you know, we rotate art whenever we need to and put new stuff up, take it down.
Who are some of the different artists that you work with now?
There's a guy in town named Eloy who did like the Bob Dylan and that black one up there. A good friend of mine, Ryan Graba's got several paintings up here. You know, we frame albums and stuff, and whatever seems cool at the time, we usually just put up.
So
there's no rhyme or reason to it.
Something creative to do, run it by you and see how it fits in.
Yeah, or just bring it in.
Excellent. Always stop by. What are your hours?
Our hours are 11 to 8, Monday through Saturday.
Unless you have, your open mics run later, correct?
Yeah. Thursdays and shows we're open till whenever.
Wonderful. What is your favorite part of owning your own shop and filling this kind of niche of hip and cool here in Bismarck?
I like the people. When people, you get your regulars, and it just makes your day enjoyable to, you know, the same guys stop in, you get to talk to people, you meet a lot of new people that come in. Every day we have somebody come in that didn't even know we existed, and they're just like, what is this?
Well, and I sort of have the same reaction when you were building kind of like you're talking about Richard driving by, I would stop by and go, oh, that's awesome that that's opening. And so I was really excited to see what you had to offer. And you have all of my favorites, and I'm sure if I don't have them, you can get them. And I'm just really glad to have you in town. So thank you for all that you're doing. My final question, from hipster to hipster, how do you prefer your PBR?
In a can.
That is right. We just did our secret high five.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me, Robbie. We're going to walk over now and we're going to talk with the tremendous trio of Kat, Richard, and Evan that make up the local indie band Kids with Beards. Meanwhile, I'm going to make a pit stop in the bathroom and check out the fabulous artwork. While I'm doing that, take a look around and see what this place has to offer. Welcome back. I am sitting here now with the feisty, fresh-faced group, Kids with Beards, comprised of Evan, Richard, and the beautiful Kat. Hello, guys. How are you today?
Good. How are you doing?
I am well, thank you. She jumps right in. These are the shy ones. I'm going to ask all of you questions. So to get things started, each of you, tell me a little bit about yourselves. Who are you? Where do you come from, and what do you do?
Well, my name is Kat Kirschman. I'm currently going to school at BSC, and I'm a photographer at Glosser Images in Bismarck here, born and raised.
I'm Richard Lowen, and I'm originally from Hazen, but I've lived in Bismarck for 5 or 6 years, and I do gutters. I work for Gutter Brothers, so if you need new gutters. And I'm in this band, Kids with Beards, and I play by myself with some other projects as well.
Excellent. Evan.
I'm Evan Morganson. I've lived in Bismarck my whole life. I just finished up a couple of years at BSC. Right now I'm just working in a movie theater and playing music whenever I have the free time.
Wonderful. And what are each of your musical backgrounds really briefly, and what do you do in this band?
Well, I've been in choir with Evan actually since we were in elementary school, so a long time. I've tried to play the flute, played drums for a little while, been playing guitar on and off. And in this particular band, I sing, play a little guitar, and the glockenspiel. Actually,
Excellent.
so.
Which I've had the privilege of previewing, and it's very fun. I'm super excited for everybody to see that. Richard.
I play guitar, harmonica, I play drums on and off here and there, and I also sing, and I wrote the songs originally, and then they became what they are with collaborated changes and so on and so forth.
Interestingly enough, though, and I want to touch on this, your musical background is very unconventional. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I didn't necessarily think I had it in me to learn to play guitar. I was pretty bad right away, and I liked
Which was how long ago? When was Right Away?
I think I've been playing for between 3 and 4 years
So
now.
very recently.
Yeah, very recently. I would play the same song over and over again, and I didn't know what chords were or anything, but I would play the same song until everybody hated it, and eventually started stemming off into other things from there, but pretty much always original, and yeah.
Excellent. Evan?
Well, I started singing when I was probably about 10 years old or so. Like Kat said, we've just been in different choirs together up until the end of high school. I also joined an orchestra when I was in the 4th grade. I started off playing the viola, but when I was about 13, I switched to the stand-up bass instead, which definitely agreed with me a lot more.
And women, I imagine, agreed with women a lot more.
Oh yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Ladies
You'll
love a
find
bass
out more
player.
about that when you move. And you can go to bars. That'll be the other key for you as well. Continue.
But also my mom taught me how to play guitar when I was probably like 8 years old or so. So that was probably one of my first musical experiences.
Very cool. And how did you come to form this band, and how long have you been performing together?
Well, Richard and I started playing about a year ago now. We just kind of met up pretty briefly at a friend's house, and he started playing some of his music, and my friends that were there knew that I sang as well, so they asked that I just start to sing with him, and
Like you do.
And it was really great, and it clicked like right away. And then maybe 2 weeks later, we were like, we gotta get together, we have to do something with that. And so then we played for about 6 months, and then Evan joined us about 6 months ago, and we've been playing together ever since.
So what kinds of music do you play, Richard? I'll ask you this one. And who are the biggest influences on the band?
We play pretty folky, definite folk music. Try to kind of expand on that a little bit, so it's not so much of the old-fashioned same things. But influences are definitely Dan Auerbach and the Black Keys. Little Woody Guthrie, Bob Dylan. I got really into Damien Rice for a while, but he's fantastic, but kind of bummer music. So these guys really pulled me away from playing the bummer music, but they also let me do it. So
There's a time and a place for
Yeah.
bummer music.
But Evan, you play mostly originals, is that right, in this band? Mm-hmm. All originals, or do you do some covers?
We throw a cover in there here and there. Usually it's just for more of a time filler than anything else. We'd like to showcase our original tunes if we have the chance to, as opposed to playing someone else's.
And how many songs do you have in your repertoire?
No, would you say maybe 10 or so? 11?
yeah.
10 or
like that?
11
Yeah.
sounds about right.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Working your way up to a full
Yeah.
3-hour concert.
We have
Oh, yeah.
we have
We're
other
getting
we have other things too that we just haven't really
Haven't
touched
worked
on
out
yet.
yet.
Yeah. We,
So how do you come up with your music? How do you collaborate to write? Or does one of you do it and you all throw it together? Or how does that process work for you?
Well, usually it'll start with like Richard comes forward with like a riff, and then he just can like whip out melodies like that
Yeah.
over anything you're
Improv
playing, pretty
artist,
much. Yeah.
for sure.
Then usually it starts off like that, and then we all sort of as a group kind of take the song where it goes, I guess. Like I'll usually throw a bass line over it, and Kat will come up with awesome harmonies, maybe a sweet glockenspiel part, maybe a cool classical, and then we'll all sort of like choose the direction. Like, this might sound kind of cool here. Or what if we did this, slowed up the tempo, and just sort of it's all sort of a collaborative effort once Richard comes forward with the main ideas for it.
I'm very improv driven, and then Kat is very dynamic driven. So she breaks down the things that that we like about the music and make sure that those are accented, and then she adds a lot of changes and stuff, and in a good way, definitely.
Fantastic. When and where are you playing next, and how can we keep up with your schedule?
We'll be playing Urban Harvest on the 9th at 6 o'clock, I think. Right? And then we're hoping to go on kind of a mini tour this summer. We're going to be playing Why Not My Not Festival the 10th and the 12th of August. Hopefully playing a couple shows in Medora. That's yet to be determined, and we have a lot of friends in Missoula, so we'll be going there and hopefully landing a gig. So,
If we want to keep up with you, where do we go to find information?
Kids with Beards.
Yeah, we have a
Facebook.
kids with Beards Facebook.
Just made
and
one.
yeah,
Just
it's
happened.
very fresh.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
One of the first to like it.
We're also playing a festival in Trenton,
Oh,
North
yeah.
Dakota, just outside of Williston. The 3rd through the 5th we'll be there. So, and last time we went a couple months ago, or a little over a month ago, and it was very, very,
was
very
excellent.
fun.
Yeah.
This one should be
Wonderful.
just
Very
the same,
muddy,
yeah.
but very fun.
It was like Woodstock.
Well, once I saw you guys playing here at Rhythm Records, I started sort of seeing you springing up all over the place, and I'm sure that you were playing long before I figured that out. But it's really great to see you all over, and I hope that people will come out and give you guys a shot and follow you up to Trenton or Missoula and have a nice little adventure with you.
man.
The last thing that I want to know, are any of you old enough to drink?
This guy.
Richard, where did you enjoy your first PBR on your 21st birthday?
My first PBR on my 21st birthday. Let's see. I would say maybe the Walrus, probably. I know I went there a lot after I turned 21.
Sure. After
Um,
you turned 21.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. And the stadium. I used to hang out at the stadium quite a bit too.
The Frog also has PBR on draft.
Ah,
Very
yes.
important.
Yeah, the Toasted Frog wasn't around when I was turning, so
Well, see, now you guys have something to look forward to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Kat, Richard, and Evan. It's been wonderful chatting with you.
Yeah, you too.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I'd like for us now to track down Robbie again, and we're all going to go face to face about your hopes and dreams for the future of your band and for this place. But first, let's take a look at Kids with Beards in action. Hi, everybody. We are here now, packed snug as bugs, talking with Robbie of Rhythm Records and Evan, Richard, and Kat of Kids with Beards to discuss the great work they're doing together. Hi, welcome back.
Hi.
Robbie, when did you first start hosting open mics?
July last year.
And how did you come across Kids with Beards?
Actually, I met Richard probably a couple months before the store opened. He was peeking through the window.
He was camped out and was on the sidewalk like, open, damn it, I need my Jones.
We had the windows all taped up, and I just saw this guy out on a bicycle like peeking in. So I came out and said hi. And that's how we met.
That is not true.
That's so true.
And you know what they say, it's like when we're all running with hipsters, you never know, are we homeless or are we cool? So you've got to be careful about who you open the door for. Kat, what was your first experience playing here as a band?
Well, I suppose we just showed up for open mic one time just to check it out. We were all very excited that there was going to be a new record store in town. And I'm not sure if we decided to go up or if Robbie asked us to and met us previously, but we went up there and just kind of did our thing, and we're pretty timid to begin with, but we got along okay, and that was the first of many performances here.
Yeah.
So.
Are you here pretty much every week?
We tried.
We really try, unless something comes up. We're pretty regulars.
Excellent. Richard, you're starting to make some headway as a band, and you're performing at a lot of different venues, but what is it about Rhythm Records that is special? Why do you keep coming back here and trying to make every open mic?
Well, Robbie was super kind, like, immediately,
He
and
really needs the practice.
he never sarcastic.
Always
Just-
respectful.
yeah, really knows what to say. No, what was the question?
With you performing at all these different venues and kind of doing this little mini tour and starting to play festivals,
Right.
what makes Rhythm Records special? Why do you keep coming back here?
To be honest, when we first started playing here, I had been to a couple open mics before, and I had heard of how respectful people were and how everybody that went to open mics was there to listen to music. And so I went to this open mic really excited somewhere else, and it was not like that. And I was like, I will never do this again. And then we started going here, and it was just everything that I'd heard that open mics could be. And even when I really didn't feel like playing, Robbie was just like, oh, go ahead, and he just always encourages us to go do it, and that it's worth it. And yeah.
I have to say I noticed the same thing. I've been to many because I try to support, and my producer also is an open mic and live music junkie, and so we try to go out and support those things, and I've had this similar experience.
Yeah.
Where a lot of the time it's, okay, we're all trying, but nobody's really quite jiving with each other. There's not that sort of camaraderie. And then I came in here one day after a really long, exhausting day of working in the heat, and I really just didn't want to do anything. And I was blown away. I was just blown away by the talent and by the sort of family and the kind of intimacy that everybody had with each other and familiarity and support, and everybody knocked my socks off, so kudos to you guys.
Yeah, it seems like everybody knows each other now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we're
definitely.
all friends. So many of our friends we've met from here that we hang out with outside of the place now. Like, it was a really great place to come and meet people who care about music. And
So how do we grow this? Robbie, how can the public help make the storefront live music scene thriving?
Just go to shows when you know that they're out there. It's really all you can do. I mean,
And your open mic is every Thursday,
7 to 11.
7 to 11, and anybody can come out and play and give it a shot.
If people see flyers around town, just go check it out. You know, sometimes it'll be bad, sometimes it'll be good. But it's free entertainment most of the time, or really cheap.
And
Yeah. It builds community.
You can speak,
and-
you're allowed.
And don't be afraid to go by yourself too, because
Yeah.
that was one thing that I did early on, was I couldn't get anybody to go with me, and I was like, I'm going by myself.
Big step for
it
you.
was- yeah, it was. It was great. Yeah.
It's not the same as going to a movie by yourself. That's where you sit by yourself and you can't talk to anybody.
But see,
When
then
you're
you
at
can
a
sneak
show,
out
you
on
can
notice.
talk to people.
That's right, and like you say, make new friends and meet people you might never have met. Evan, how can we encourage new artists to take chances like this and come out to play at an open mic?
just always be supportive of new people whenever they want to play up here. Like the worst thing you could do is if somebody like, you know, is obviously like self-conscious about their music, then just the worst thing you could do is to put them down about it, I guess. That's one thing that I really like about Rhythm Records is like Richard was saying, everybody's always supportive of everyone here, and you know, it's great to see people just become better musicians through all the times they play here too. Like, so you'll see it in 1 week, and then you'll catch them a month later, and just wow, you know, they've really perfected that song they were working on, and you know, they've added a few more that are sounding really good, and it's just it's entertaining to see people grow as musicians through this, and it's definitely helps out for like getting performance experience too.
Agreed.
Excellent. Robbie, do you have any new plans to expand the performance and visual arts opportunities that are offered by Rhythm Records?
I book as many shows as I think I can handle. I don't know.
I know what it's
Yes
like to be a
and no.
one-man show. You always want more, but then there's only you to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, if there's somebody that hasn't played a show, I almost always give them a shot. You know, and if they're easy to work with and it's good, we'll keep doing it, you know. We don't charge a cover, we don't charge a venue fee, so anybody that's got a band that's out there that's willing to put the time into putting some flyers up, that's all I need. I don't know, I just want to see it grow.
That's great. Kat, where do you see Kids with Beards going in the next few years?
Well, it's kind of hard to say because unfortunately Evan and Richard and I are moving in opposite directions. We're going to Montana and Evan is going to Minnesota, but we all have family in North Dakota, so we hope to meet here, maybe record an album this upcoming winter, and whenever we can take time off work and get together, practice up and do some touring and hopefully promote our music and distribute some, merchandise and stuff.
My last question for all of you is this. I love classic folk artists and poets like Bob Dylan and Leonard Cohen and Tom Waits. Given that, what contemporary record must I listen to right the hell now?
The new tallest man on earth.
I was just going to say that.
Look at that.
He's like the king of folk right now.
He's awesome.
I love these guys. What a resource. Evan, Richard, Robbie, Kat, thank you all so much for taking the time to talk to me, for your energy and enthusiasm. It's really, truly been a sincere pleasure to get to know you. Watch me, the Dive Bar Diva, from my surprise locations with special guests every Thursday at 9 p.m. on CATV 12. You can also catch Dive Bar Diva live on urlradio.net every other Wednesday at 4 p.m. Or pick up a copy of the Prairie Independent on newsstands all over Bismarck-Mandan for my latest article. Finally, be sure to like Dive Bar Diva on Facebook and check out my blog at redamberray.wordpress.com. To find out more about Rhythm Records and Kids with Beards, check out their respective Facebook pages. And always remember, love where you live, support local entertainment and media, and enjoy a PBR or a Jones Soda while you're doing it. Until next time.